This is Film Trigger.
Derpy Gaming says, hello, friends. I'm here for quality content. Well, you came to the wrong channel. There we go.
Now, very good.
Except for the fact that it's George Clooney's Batman.
So by that logic, George Clooney is the best live-action Batman we have ever got.
If Justice League 2 isn't announced in 2022, I will shave my hair bald live on air.
Streaming from Studio 47, Film Trigger's Drive-By News begins now.
What up?
Hola.
Que pasa, güey?
I didn't know you speak German.
Only the southern dialects.
Oh no, only that sentence and this sentence explaining it.
Oh yeah. What? Okay.
Okay.
Oh man. Hello everybody. Welcome to Film Trigger Drive-By News. My name is Stevie Cade. And to my digital left, we have Monte. Hello, Monte.
Hola.
How are you today, sir?
Slowly descending into madness.
Sweet. I mean, sorry. Whatever.
No, it's good. It's good. If I descend low enough, I'll start to like Star Wars again.
Oh well, good. Well then, I'm glad we have plenty of Star Wars to talk about today. That's for sure. We got quite a few things to talk about. First, I'm going to set some background mood music here. There we go. A little something to calm down the nerves, because it's the end of the day. My foot hurts. Monty's descending into hell, and I'm drinking water. That's how my day's going. Cheers. Cheers. And cherry tart juice, which I have out in the fridge right now, because that helps the foot problem.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So let's just jump into some stuff as soon as we find it. But if you are watching, please comment your comment in the comments. That's where we comment things. No, just converse with us. Let us know your thoughts, feelings, questions. Maybe you think I'm full of shit. Maybe you know Monty's full of shit and you want to let us know. Then just give us a little message down there, and we'll interact with you. Or if you're feeling extra spicy, you can give us a call live at 740-527-3447. I'm going to leave that banner up for about 2 seconds, and then I'm going to take it down so people don't call when I re-upload these videos.
When they ask for your credit card number, we only need the last four numbers.
It's formality, really. It's just that it's the app. It's what they make me
It's
do.
just to make sure you're old enough. We promise.
Seriously, give us money. All right.
Give us.
So our first thing that we're going to talk about here. Now, this is Monty. Do you know anything about Lightyear, the new movie that came out this weekend?
Yeah, they have a retired police officer who's the main character, right?
Yeah, you got it. Yeah. That's it. Aaron White says, cheers, I'm drinking hot coffee and it's 105 degrees outside. Iced coffee is for weirdos. Well, listen, Aaron, thank you, number one, for joining us. Number two, you're drinking hot coffee on 105 degree today.
Just as America would want it to be.
Maybe the ice cold coffee people aren't as big of weirdos as you think. No, well, hey, cheers to you, Aaron. Thank you for joining us. And 105, man, that's what it felt like today. If you guys can't see my super tan here, because I work outside all day.
Farmer's tan.
Yeah, I'm rocking it hard. Yeah, I've been outside for 2 weeks straight. Like, it was nice and cool this weekend, and I was like, okay, it's cool this weekend. Hopefully that will stick through the next week. And I don't work on Mondays, and it was nice and cool yesterday. My first day back, 93, baby, 93 degrees.
It's going to become cool eventually to be the working class guys.
Right,
rich people are going to be going to tanning beds wearing T-shirts and shit to look like us.
Wow.
Trying to get that blue collar look,
Yeah, the blue says I work for a living. All right, Aaron, thank you for joining us, man. Maybe you can chime in on some of the stuff that we're going to talk about here. All right, so I was asking you a question before. Monty, do you know anything about Lightyear at all?
I know that it's bombing.
Yes, it's not doing well. Bombing is tentative. It's not doing as well as they thought it would do. It's not bombing. It's just not the success that they
I'm
thought it was.
like they made like 58 million worldwide, which is what they were hoping to make, like just from the United States.
Yeah, that's it. As I said, not what they expected.
Yeah,
But
I mean, Jurassic World is still beating it somehow.
and everyone hates that movie. So yeah. So why would a Buzz Lightyear, a Toy Story property, why would a movie bomb like that? Like what could make a movie, that is praised by people since 1996 when it first came out? Why would this movie bomb, Monty? What could be so different about this movie that makes it not work?
I'm going to guess that it is because it is not Toy Story.
Right. See, it's not a hard concept to grasp. Like when they clearly state in the commercials, Andy bought a toy from his favorite movie. This is that movie. It tells you, hey, we're picking it up out of this Toy Story world and we're putting it over here. So it's kind of
buy more of our stuff.
Right.
Shut up.
Right. And of course they recast Buzz Lightyear with Chris Evans, who I think did a wonderful job. Like when I first heard this movie was coming out, my immediate thought was, well, this is going to bomb because it's not Tim Allen doing the voice. Like he's iconic voice. And then the moment I learned it was Chris Evans, I could hear Chris Evans do that voice. I'm like, dear God, Tim Allen has been doing the best Captain America impression for years, and none of us ever knew it because they sound so freaking similar.
Oh, so it is Chris Evans just like imitating his voice?
It's Chris Evans doing Chris Evans, like slight Buzz Lightyear sounding voice,
okay.
But like just the way he talks. Like that's why I made that comparison, saying that Tim Allen was doing his best Captain America impression without us knowing, because he actually sounds a lot like just how Chris Evans sounds. We just never realized. We never made that comparison before. So anyway, that all aside, this came out from Screen Rant. It says Lightyear is a high concept premise, actually making the film, which is referenced within the Toy Story universe that inspired the Buzz Lightyear toy line. While a fun exercise, the film by its very nature is likely going to confuse some audience members who would question where and how the film fits into the Toy Story franchise. Pixar tried its best with TV spots, letting audiences know that it was a movie that Andy saw, but it is such a niche meta idea that general audiences may not have been sold on just the concept alone. For all intents and purposes, Pixar had an original science fiction film to market. Right. It's an original science fiction film, just happens to star this character that another character is based off of in a different I can see where it's convoluted. See where it's convoluted. One way they could have actually, this just popped in my head. One way they could have maybe bridged this a little bit more. And listen, I haven't seen the movie, so if this is in the movie and people still aren't getting it, then I don't know how to help you. But I was thinking, what if, you sit there, you're watching the movie. Well, I gotta bring this up. But you're watching the movie with somebody else, like somebody in the Toy Story world, and you see them going to the theater, and then they just sit down there. They're here to watch the Buzz Lightyear movie, and then the camera pans slowly to their screen, and that's what you watch for the rest of the movie.
See, it's interesting that you say that, right? Because there was a little bit where there was an animated series, Buzz Lightyear of Star Command or whatever the hell. And
the one they're trying to get you to forget about right now.
Yeah, and it actually wasn't bad. It did the same thing that you were mentioning. It was like Rex, Ham, and a couple of them in the regular Pixar animation. And Andy's gone, and they're like, "Quick, put the show back on. We can watch it now."
Oh,
and
shit!
It would go back and forth between that.
I'd never even seen that.
It was
show.
Cool. It made you like Toy Story even more. I was a kid watching this, and I thought it was cool because I'm it's the guys, the toys. They're watching the TV thingy with me.
Well, that pisses me off even worse if they didn't do that idea.
Well, see, that requires a little bit of creativity, and that doesn't exist too much anymore.
No, it does. You just got to find it, man. You got to find the little nuggets.
Well, you'd figure that it would, filter up to the highest echelons of filmmaking and everything. You figured that's where the good stuff would float up, but apparently not.
Well, it's a Pixar movie, man. I mean,
Pixar movies are pretty damn good, and
they're pretty damn good.
Too.
Well, there's another aspect to this as well, and that's simply put that COVID really threw a wrench in a lot of movie going plans for everybody, movie makers, movie watchers, people who live as actors, but one thing Disney seemed to get into a habit of is that they started putting their Pixar movies straight to streaming, and I believe this is the first one that has come back in theaters.
Yeah,
maybe people are just confused on that too, so they're confused that maybe they thought it was going to be streaming and not go to theaters.
Well, I get that. Who the hell wants to drag their kid to the theater and have every other adult pissed off that there's a little kid there?
Well, I think once you're a parent, you just accept the madhouse that you're going to be living in for the next few years.
I feel like once you're a parent, you just know, well, I don't have a life until they're 18 now. Because if you bring the little shit anywhere with you, you're kind of fucked.
That sounds like
if they're not well behaved.
Sounds like somebody who's never had a kid.
It's true. I've only had to deal with the little bastards babysitting, and it's easy. I just I bore the hell out of them talking about World War I. Are we gonna watch SpongeBob? Like, no, we're gonna talk about the Battle of the Somme today.
Sit around, kids.
Sit around, children. We're going to talk about the cruel reality of trench warfare.
Here's a glass of warm water. That's all you get tonight.
You all get to share this one glass.
All right. Well, now that we know Monte is a terrible father.
Absolutely.
No, I think people just were confused. Pixar putting out.
I agree.
Disney putting out Pixar movies, which was a very weird choice for them to do, especially like when movies were going back into theaters.
Yeah,
and then they kept putting the Pixar movies on streaming. Yeah. It's like, what are you doing, man? Like, Pixar is like one of the best studios around. Like, what are you guys doing?
Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for them.
Right, and I think people got confused. Maybe it's just a thought. I don't know. Maybe
I agree.
Maybe honestly, I give people too much credit.
No, I mean, honestly, I think you're right. Yeah, like it was a weird business move and all, just not even thinking about the movies or the product or the product themselves. It is a weird strategy to continue streaming after you've even had movies go to theaters first, and then to go back to that, but then not go back to that for this. Right. It's strange and it's weird, and
we lived in a weird world. I mean, nobody expected the entire world to shut down, so like there are some like missteps there. Obviously we're none of us knew what we were doing, so like obviously we're still juggling the remnants of that stuff, and this might be one of those things like where they're going, oh shit, maybe we should have been a little bit more on top of making sure these movies got out in theaters. But up until a few months ago, they weren't even sure if theaters were still gonna like show movies. Like it's still like a new concept. Jimbo brings up a very good point here. He says, so far, I've seen a lot of videos blaming woke things for the performance. I just got here, not sure if you discussed that. No, Jim, we have not. I'm glad you brought that up because there is another aspect of this, and that there is a very small, and I hate what they call these things woke. I understand woke is a good
it's supposed to be. And then,
it's a blanket term. It's a blanket term, but like now, anytime you actually include anybody of any different sexuality or race or ethnicity, it's woke. Like, no, that's not exactly what that word means. But like, what Jimbo was talking about is there's two characters of what I believe is two female characters that kiss in this, and I believe they're in a relationship in this movie. Again, I haven't seen it; I just read about it.
Yeah,
and it's very quick.
Short. It's like I think it's like 4 seconds. I've seen clips of it, and it's like it's literally like 4 seconds, and they have a kid with them that they adopted artificially. Whatever.
Okay.
Who cares?
Okay.
And, it's not really. I think so much that I think it's. Disney's kind of done this a couple times now in a row where anytime they put something that most people kind of wouldn't give a fuck about, they make it seem like a shit ton of people really care and are really upset about it, and then just kind of take it away from there. Like they'll okay, like a good example, Kenobi. They cherry picked some shitty fans who are like, "Oh, you're just in this role because you're black," and then they decided, well, the entire fan base is like this. How can you make any of these people happy? And it's like, shit, no, you should. Fuck, it's too late now. And they've done that like 7 fucking times. They did it for Captain Marvel, where they completely neglected that Brie Larson was kind of a bitch during all the showings, where it's like, straight white males, this movie isn't for you. And it's like, all right, well, that's your whole fucking audience. So
she was. They had to kind of.
And then the movie didn't do that well, and then they were like, well, why'd this happen? Oh, it's because men suck.
Well, hold on.
That's half the population.
But when it comes to Lightyear specifically, like, this movie's not showing in countries because they refuse to take that out.
Right.
So,
and
like,
I think that's a huge factor too. I think
I think that's where
Saudi Arabia, China, a couple of the other countries that aren't quite as inclusive as we are.
Right.
But
Jimbo does say, and during the promotion for the movie, Chris Evans called those people giving the backlash idiots that will die off like dinosaurs. Do you think that could affect views?
Yeah, like
I haven't heard that.
I have. It's like, again, it's that thing I'm telling you, dude. They like, whenever they, instead of dealing with some kind of bigotry or stupid shit professionally without alienating the rest of your audience, let's just say you maybe have mixed feelings about it. Well, the main actor of the movie just called you a fucking idiot for having any weird feelings about it. And it's like, oh, well, shit, I don't know how to feel now. You're never gonna win people over by insulting them.
Right. Yeah, that's very interesting.
My point that I'm making is that Disney does this a lot. And they're trying to cater to people that, one, aren't going to pay to go see their movies anyway. And two, why would you want to make those people happy? You're talking about a group of people that are professionally upset by everything.
Yeah.
And I how many lesbian couples are out there protesting because of this movie, or because of what some asshole said on Twitter about the movie?
Yeah. Right.
None of them. It's always somebody else who's getting offended on somebody else's behalf.
Right.
And
well,
it's super annoying.
To be fair, Chris Evans, idiots that will die off like dinosaurs. I mean, that is harsh. I think maybe he could have, instead of personalizing it, maybe he could have made that a generalization of a way of thinking that needs to die off like dinosaurs. That sounds like a threat. It really does. And yeah, Jimbo, I'm glad you shared that. I had no clue that he even said that. So that would definitely affect. Dude. That would definitely affect, like, even if you're on, team, Lightyear, Chris Evans says, "Oh yeah, idiots die off that need to die off like dinosaurs." Like, even your team would be like, "Whoa, wait."
He doesn't represent all of us.
Exactly.
It's like, just be a little cooler, man. Just be nice. Just shut up. It's like 4 seconds. It's fine.
Oh man.
It's like, well, now you're calling it the whole people of those countries are idiots and they need to die off like dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's not a good look. I didn't know he said that, man.
No.
But when it comes down to the basic, listen, I haven't seen the movie, but I have watched a couple of non-spoiler reviews, and that doesn't make me an expert at all, but they all seem to sound pretty similar in the sense that the movie starts off really well, but then it kind of fizzles down. Like, it's not bad. It just doesn't.
I mean, it
doesn't
looks
keep
good.
up with. It doesn't keep up with the way that it starts, and then people getting all pissy about Tim Allen not playing Buzz Lightyear, which I totally understand. Like, I don't understand why they're getting pissy. I understand why he's not in it.
I mean, I kind of get. I mean, just speaking from someone who's like, I've watched Toy Story since I was a kid. That was my shit. It was like my favorite movie as a kid. And seeing your characters grow up, and then growing up with you, but then their voices change because the actor doesn't necessarily agree with everything, it's just kind of shitty. And it's like, come on, can't we separate those?
Is that why we changed the actor? That brings that
100%. That's why they did it.
Well, but listen, the way that this movie is portrayed, man, it tells me that maybe if Tim Allen wasn't so outspoken and wasn't somebody that everybody seems to dislike now because of his opinions.
Oh, I thought it was because of Home Improvement. that he gave bad advice.
Oh yeah, that's it. No, I feel like to me this is a different character. This is not the same character that we grew up with. That's what they're trying to say. They're trying to.
Oh yeah, no, I
feel like that's the way to do it. I mean,
I just
I don't
feel
see
like
a problem with it.
it's kind of a
Hey, Mike, welcome
Hello.
to the club. We're talking about Buzz Lightyear and why everyone hates it for some reason.
I mean, honestly, I don't really get it that much, but I mean, hey, you know, it
It's
happens.
whatever.
I mean,
It's
they
whatever,
still, I like how we're talking about 58 million, like that's a bust.
Right.
It's like, ooh, yeah, that's so sad. However, are they going to survive off of 60 million opening?
Right. In the movie, you know what? And again, I haven't seen the movie, but I do think this could be one of those movies that is a slow burn. You know, it doesn't start off the strongest, but like then it starts to go up. I mean, look at Everything Everywhere All at Once. Kind of did the same thing.
I think the difference, though, is that this is a Pixar movie, and these movies usually hit theaters and then blow up immediately. And this is their weakest response they've had. Right.
Well, but this is a family. I don't know. I'm curious to keep an eye on this and see how it plays out in the next, few weeks.
True.
Just to see if it actually decides to pick up or not, because it looks good, but I haven't seen it, so I can't really say it.
Honestly, I hope it does go good, because I like I remember really liking the the Buzz Lightyear Star Command show when that was on, and the little movies that they had with it. I thought that shit was cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is just
it gave some backstory on Buzz Lightyear's character and who he thinks he is.
Right, and I don't have any problem with them changing to Chris Evans as long as it plays into the story narrative, and that's what this does.
His
it plays
fucking
into that
wings
story.
better glow in the dark.
There's going to be something that there's going to be. Yeah, I still have an original Buzz Lightyear toy. I really do. Let's see. I grew up with Buzz Lightyear too. I know we're 10 years different, so I was 13 when it came out, but I still like that shit.
Yeah,
and yeah, it was a great series. I fell off near the sequels, but I love that first one. It's still a classic. It still holds up.
Yeah.
They may or may not pull the trigger on this theorized Woody movie that might be coming out, where they're going to give Woody the same treatment, where he's on his own show that he was on before.
Super dark and brooding. It's like a Clint Eastwood style Unforgiven kind of movie with Woody.
You see him cock a gun. Who put this snake in my boot? Oh,
Alec Baldwin's the bad guy.
Oh no! Keep him away from guns. All right. Well, there you go. There's the Lightyear Backlash. Why is this movie not doing well? It seems like Monte and I kind of look at this a little different. I'm a little bit more forgiving about this movie, but Monte's like, fuck no. Disney always claiming woke. So where do you guys land on why this movie's not succeeding? And do you think it has to do with Tim Allen not being in the role again? Maybe confusion of the franchise? People went in thinking they were getting a Toy Story movie and they weren't, but were, because it's kind of weird that way. Let us know in the comments below. Or again, like I've said before, you can give us a call right now at 740-527-3447. All right. On to the next order of business. Now, I know you mentioned earlier in the show, Monte, about maybe you can be a Star Wars fan again someday, right?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, we have 8 movies that are planned to come out after after Obi-Wan. And I say planned because there's only real logos. I don't even know if one of them's a real logo. There's only one real logo that I know out of the 8, and the rest are just like maybe like we know they're being made. Here, I'll just bring up my card here. This is the 8 Star Wars movies that are being planned to come out, and you might know a little bit more about this because you are a Star Wars fan.
Oh god damn it! They're doing a droid story.
They're
still letting Rian Johnson do something.
It's like Toy Story in space.
Why?
Wait, that would be Star Command. That'd be what we have to know. All right. Well, let's start with what supposedly is the most recent one that's supposed to come out, and that is Rogue Squadron. And if you pay attention to the release date, that movie will be out December of this year.
Yeah.
even though they haven't filmed a thing yet. So.
Yeah, there hasn't been a trailer. There hasn't been. I'm pretty sure that one they halted production on.
Yeah, no, they did. But it's still on the slate. It's still there. It still says it's coming out on that day. Do you know anything about the Rogue One, the Rogue Squadron?
So Rogue Squadron is just, I think it's based very loosely off of. It's supposed to be at least based very loosely off of like this crack team of rebel pilots that they're, just think Suicide Squad, but with rogue pilots.
But in space.
In space with rebel pilots, they always do like the suicide missions. I could be wrong. I don't remember that one too much.
Is this supposed to be a sequel? Like it's supposed to bring us?
No.
Oh, Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
Rogue One was just like a one shot off. It's supposed to be how the rebels got the plans. That's it. Which I'm not gonna lie, Rogue One is so far the best thing I think Disney Star Wars has produced.
I do like Rogue One. I really do, and I think Seth is finally coming around to it. Seth is a big Star Wars guy too, but he didn't like Rogue One, but I think he's coming around to it.
I absolutely loved it. I thought, fucking finally we actually get
creative.
to see rebels fighting for once,
right?
Instead of just being in the background, or the only other time I remember is like and what I mean is rebel infantry. I've always wanted to see how the rebels fight on the ground, because we never really get to see it besides The Empire Strikes Back in that opening scene where they just get fucking mopped by the walkers.
Right.
Which was hilarious. I love that scene, but
well, Jimbo says, can't wait for the finale of Princess Leia and Friends tonight. Well, hold on. We'll get to that, Jimbo. We're gonna do a little prediction. What we want to see in episode 6, and maybe episode 6 can be saved. It can save this year. I don't fucking know. We're just gonna do a predictions talk. Actually, right after we finish going through this list here. So
Droid Story is probably going to be a kids movie, which is fine. Whatever.
Is it going to be based around? It is C-3PO and R2-D2, I believe. As what I read.
I kind of hope not. I hope it's just. I hope it's just other droids. Fuck.
That's what I read. So I think that's what it is. Now, this leaves me with a curiosity. The Taika Waititi Star Wars movie. This one is actually. It has buzz around it. Like people are talking about it. You can hear him. He's prepping for it. And I think. He's a great fit into the Star Wars world, especially if you want to make it, feel as fun and family friendly, but still have like heavy nuances and all these things. Taika Waititi's really good at doing that.
Yeah, honestly, I'm just happy to see a creative and good director attached to Star Wars.
You sound so defeated.
Honestly, yeah, man. I'm just, what it is Star Wars is not supposed to be like Marvel. I don't want to be every fucking year a new Star Wars title. I'll be honest, I kind of like the wait. I like not getting a new Star Wars movie until, we get a trilogy and then that's it. We're meant to just die with that. Yeah. It's like, there's your dinner, go to bed. And then this is like, it's Marvel. The way I like to put it is it's like a dinner table that you're not allowed to fucking leave. They just keep stuffing you full of shit that you don't really want to eat anymore. You're like, wow, that was a great dinner. Yep. And you can't fucking leave yet.
Yeah. Cause we're going to have,
a shit ton more dessert.
Yeah, no, we're going to have the second dinner and it's going to taste exactly like the dinner you just had.
I don't want to. Like, shut up, sit down.
All right. Then the Kevin Feige Star Wars movie is something that we've always heard rumors about. Listen, I respect Kevin Feige. I think he's very good at handling properties. He's obviously turned the MCU around like gratefully. Like he's done great things with the MCU. And now can he do the same thing with Star Wars? I don't really know. Especially when you have what's his name, Bob Chapek, the guy who the CEO of Disney right now.
Yeah.
He's kind of not doing great. He's like he took like power away from Kevin Feige.
Oh, I thought you meant like he's dying, like he's in a fucking bantha tank right now.
Oh no.
Like
I mean, like
floating in that blue liquid, like fucking.
No, I mean, like, stockholders aren't happy with them. Crew isn't happy with them. And
well, yeah, I mean, they keep producing banners,
Well, you have to understand, like, so he when Chapek took over, he actually took responsibility away from Feige from the MCU. He's like, listen, we're not going to give you as much control over the MCU as you've had. And ever since then, the MCU's been going, so
Weird.
like, what a weird decision to make. Like, man, you're doing great.
You're doing a great job.
Let's get you
I
out of there.
Love some of that credit and to fuck up some of your work.
Yeah, that's it. That's it, man. That sounds exactly like a JPEG thing to do.
Honestly, yeah. I don't know what the hell this one is. When is that?
Nobody knows.
Untitled something.
JT Dillard film, Star Wars. Yeah.
Who the fuck
I
is
couldn't
JT
really find
Dillard?
much on this. JT Dillard was supposed to make a Star Wars movie, and that's what we got. That's what I mean. Like, once you get past like these three, then it's like big question marks and curiosity of what the fudge is going on. And then the one I know you're most excited about.
No, this piece of shit. Yeah.
Listen, man, I actually am curious about this. I really am. I liked The Last Jedi.
So his let me guess the plot of his movies. The first one, they're gonna bring back Luke Skywalker to rape him on screen, and then he's gonna say, "See, you didn't expect that. Isn't that such a great twist?"
Are you saying that he's like the M. Night Shyamalan of Star Wars?
Yes, but more contrived.
Great, that's good. I listen. I completely get the hate for the movie because it doesn't fit anywhere into.
Honestly, it's not even so much for the movie; it's for the guy. I think he's just a douchebag in general.
Why? Why do you think that? What?
Look, I understand. Defending your art, defending what you've done. That there's nothing wrong with that, and I implore any artist, any filmmaker to do that. To stand by your work proudly.
Right.
But when you have made the same mistakes constantly in your films, and every time those criticisms come forward, and you instead respond with absolute hatred and mockery of those critics and criticisms, you're an asshole then. At that point, you're just a dick. It's just like, well, I mean, did you really need that whole 50 minutes that could have been lost from the film and it wouldn't have changed anything? Oh, you just don't understand films like I do. No, I don't understand filler the way you do.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I see
the whole casino scene and fucking stupid ass Last Jedi. That whole plot could have been fucking taken away. I will go on a rant about The Last Jedi, but not just that, but the rest of his shit movies that he's made.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? It's been a while since I've seen it, but that scene was pretty fucking pointless.
There is whole sections of that movie that you can just take away, and it does absolutely nothing to the plot.
Yeah,
and that's the sign of not just bad writing, but a bad director.
That's fair. That's a fair point.
That is what I mean. Not even for my love of Star Wars, which completely goes by the wayside for this. Because I love Star Wars, but I will admit that Return of the Jedi is a goofy, stupid movie.
Yeah.
Which is why I love The Empire Strikes Back, because it was directed by a good director.
Yeah, that was my favorite in my ranking. Yeah.
That one, Rogue One, and Revenge of the Sith are like the only three that I truly love.
Yeah, Revenge of the Sith is really good too. Yeah, man. I've been getting an itch to I've been getting an itch to rewatch Star Wars lately.
Dude, I would love to do that with you. I'm out of school now, so I actually have time.
Oh, nice. Well, then we'll figure out something.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna move forward to the next topic here. When you see this, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
No, that's from Jason. God damn it, that's
You're
bad.
about to go. Great. Well, I'm obviously talking to somebody who's not qualified.
Look, it's Michael Myers.
Oh, great. All right.
It's the Candy Man.
Monte just got canceled. All right.
God damn
So
it.
there's some things going around here saying Robert Englund returning to do another Freddy movie. Okay. Yeah, maybe he might not. I don't know. He's been saying no. He's been saying no for years, and quite honestly, I agree with him. You know, like, dude doesn't want to. Like, he said 10 years ago, like right after, longer than 10 years ago, like right after Freddy versus Jason came out, He goes, "That's the last one." He goes, "That almost whooped my ass." And that was when he's in his 60s. He's 75 now.
Yeah,
but
that movie is it's weird. Sometimes I don't even believe that it exists.
It's one of those weird movies. Like I watch it and I like it, and then I'm like, "Oh my god, this movie's stupid." But I really like
it. It's like it's so weird. It's so bad, but it's so believably bad and good.
Right.
It's like, fuck it. Yeah, I would believe these two guys know each other.
It's like watching, Jason X when he's in space. Like that movie sucks. But I love watching that movie. Like the only way I can watch Jason X is is me imagining all the people between the scenes going, "Dude, this movie is fucking terrible." I know. They had to have done it on purpose way. And anyway, when it comes to Freddy versus Jason, though, that there are certain points of that story that I find absolutely wonderful, and that's one of them, like when he cocoons Jason Voorhees around in that water wall.
Oh yeah,
and he turns into a shriveling child. Like that's a great concept. That's something that was
honestly fucking cool. Right.
That movie's freckled with really cool shit, and it's also freckled with Freddy as a worm hitting a pipe. Anyway,
great.
So why is this even in the conversation? Why is Robert Englund being rumored maybe again to return for another Freddy movie? Well, it came out recently with an interview from Screen Rant with Jason Blum, who runs Blumhouse, which have done how many movies did they do?
They have done 85 movies.
85 movies. It's a little homework that
including
Monte did before we got
such
live.
Gems as The Tooth Fairy and The Purge. The Tooth Fairy is not a horror movie, believe it or not. It's with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Wait,
where he's a fucking football player, and they call him the Tooth Fairy.
No, that's not the one Blumhouse.
That is the one, dude. I swear to God,
because there is a horror Tooth Fairy movie.
This is the fucking one with The Rock in it.
No, I'm gonna have to fact check this.
Please do. It's a fucking comedy. I'm looking at it. You can't handle the tooth. Oh shit, dude.
Oh
that's
God,
amazing.
Fuck, you're right. Jesus, there it is.
Yep. I wish I was wrong.
I wish you were wrong too. All right. Well,
they do make great horror movies like The Tooth Fairy again.
Anyway, so Blumhouse did an interview with Screen Rant, and he had this to say when it was brought up, because Blumhouse is wanting to buy or get the rights to Nightmare on Elm Street and to Friday the 13th, which that presents some concern to me for a multitude of reasons that we'll dive into. But he was asked specifically about, bringing Robert Englund back, and, saying Robert Englund's too old to come back. And Jason Blum said, "Well, I could make him come back. I can get anyone to come back." Okay, that's pompous. Blum said it wouldn't be the first time he's gotten a veteran horror star to return to a franchise. Ellen Bernstein was 87. I got her back in The Exorcist. He said before commenting that Englund's age isn't a problem at all, saying, he's 75. He's young.
God, he sounds like the devil dealing in like people's souls. That's what he sounds like. I was able to get her when she was 87. She thought she was done, and 75. I showed her the contract.
75. There's still more years I can torture these beings. Yeah, that's pretty much. You're right. That's exactly what he sounds like. That's very. very
I mean, if
very
you
good
can do something good with it, sure.
That's the question. If
their movies with sequels always have progressively gotten worse and worse and worse every time. And damn well if he takes these movies, he's gonna fucking milk them for sequels.
Right. Yeah, probably doing hey, you got one more in you? And then he says, okay, I'll do one more. But secretly in that contract it says one
Too
more.
late, bitch, you signed the contract.
No, and the contract says one more trilogy.
Yeah, one more franchise before you die.
Oh man.
Son of Freddy.
With this being said, listen, I love Robert Englund. If anybody who watches my channel knows that I love Nightmare on Elm Street. The whole franchise, this means a lot to me. I really scared my parents a lot for how much I liked it when I was a kid, to the point I wasn't allowed to watch it anymore. So the movie's always had a little special place in my heart. But even I am do I really want Robert Englund back? Especially knowing that he kind of, I know he doesn't want to do another physical movie, and what kind of movie will we get out of him if he doesn't actually participate in the physical parts of it?
I hope he's like the Emperor, where he's just like in a chair the whole time. Somehow, Freddy Krueger has returned.
I don't know, man. Listen,
Even like the Sith hood, but it's like the Freddy.
Yeah, the red and green stripe,
red and green sweatshirt.
If they could have, I mean, as long as it plays into the story that they're telling, But are we really wanting to get another story out of this Freddy? I personally would love to see a new person cast into this role, but then take that new person and say, hey, here's our new Nightmare on Elm Street movie, but it's a prequel, and dive into the Springfield slasher story. That's a story that hasn't been told yet.
That's a great fucking idea. Honestly.
Dude, I've always said that story, that would be a great like mini series. It could be TV, it could make one good prequel movie, but what it could do, it could really set the foundation for a new Freddy character. But you get in on the ground level with them. You're there for, the trial where somebody signed the paper in the wrong spot and he gets away scot-free, and that's why the parents, jumped in and took powers into their own hands. And then start off telling the Freddy stories, and perhaps not even rehash the ones that we've already told. Just have this be a brand new thing, where just brand new stories. Or you could go the other route and just tell a brand new story and not remake a movie or reboot it. Just have a brand new story. Like, oh, this is Freddy. We know what Freddy is. We know what he can do. We know his things. So everything's already established for us. Just bring us in and tell us a new story now.
Honestly, even if they were to just kind of not a soft reboot, but almost like a passing of the torch with the old Freddy and a new person being, like a new Springfield slasher who's going out and fucking shit up.
A new Freddy demon master thing.
Yeah, and Freddy basically gives this person his curse / powers, whatever the fuck.
Or manifest it himself. It's funny you bring that up, because years ago, Seth, this is how fucked up of a father I am. I was discussing what they could do with the future of Freddy Krueger with my, I think then 12-year-old son. And I was drawing pictures of different characters that he could pass the torch to. And one thing that I came up with was, I think it was Dream Child. I think Freddy 5 Dream Child, the one with the guy on the motorcycle, and the motorcycle like takes over his body. Dude, that guy looks so creepy. I said, what if Freddy, like, he wants to pass the torch, so he dips into his bin of souls and chooses who's going to be the next Freddy, and it ends up being that guy on the motorcycle, and he kind of like morphs his soul into his, and then like this continues on being the new Freddy. Whatever,
dude, I'd take that. That's good.
I don't write movies, but it's not hard to create something new out of something old either. I mean, we've been talking like 5 minutes on this thing. We've come up with 3 different ideas of where they could take this franchise. Listen, if Robert Englund wants to do one more as a send-off, then do one more as a send-off. I'm okay with that. I just get worried that Blumhouse is going to do their they know how to do the horror movie elements correctly, in the sense, low budget, big return. Invisible Man being one of those prime examples of that. $8 million budget and made like 40 something million at the theaters.
What a great fucking horror movie, honestly.
It was pretty good. That's for a different day. I have my issues with it. I like I'm more of the I like the mythological side of things, as opposed to the sci-fi side of things. But they turned it on its head, and that's fine. They did pique my curiosity for the possible Dracula movie that they were going to make, but it has seemed to fallen off the wheelhouse of what Blum is doing in the future. Right. But yeah, if they did a send off for Freddy with Robert Englund, okay, that's fine. But we need to revitalize this franchise. some could say the franchise is dead. It died in 2010 when that one came out. It had potential. It really did. You know, Jackie Earle Haley, I thought, did a great job playing Freddy. It was just bogged down with CGI, bad storytelling, and somehow you make a remake of a slasher film. You don't take away blood, you add more blood. That's what you do. You amp it up. They didn't amp it up. They made the beginning scene
tame as hell,
with the chick who's like crawling on the ceiling, getting cut up by Freddy in her dreams. In that first movie, that was one of the most terrifying scenes. Very believable. Yeah. In this one, it was comical.
Creepy.
Like, I literally chuckled when she's like going like being rolled across the ceiling. I'm like, what is this shit show that I'm watching right now?
Doing a fucking combat roll on the ground on the fucking ceiling.
Jimbo chimes in. He says, "Give it to a guy named Paul Bailey. He's someone I follow on Instagram. He could knock it out of the park, and his whole page is dedicated to the character. Like, what do you mean? Give it to a guy named Paul Bailey? You mean like writing or acting? Yeah, I don't know Paul Bailey. I'll have to check him out. You're friends with me on Twitter, Jimbo. Tag me in his name or stuff. But yeah, is he acting or is he a writer? Let us know. Maybe I can look into some of his work. But yeah, it was. So some could say this franchise died then, and I would not disagree with you. But dude, we can tell a new story. Like I said before, have it be a prequel, and then bring it forward to tell a whole new story. You know, that's just my opinion. Acting, okay, thank you, Jimbo. But and then Blumhouse, just a little side note here, wanting to buy Freddy and Friday the 13th. That scares me. I like the fact of them, you know, being close together and like have the same minds making the franchise. But when it comes to Blumhouse, it does scare me because some of their like you said, there's 80 movies and I've only heard of like 5 of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like 20% of their movies are decent.
Right. And that's just a statistic that doesn't make me comfortable with my favorite horror movie franchise out there.
In the Marine Corps, we call it suppressing fire, where they just like fire so many movies at you that eventually one of them will hit you and they'll be okay. And that's kind of what they do.
Yeah. See, I don't like that. I don't like
accuracy through volume.
See, I don't like that, man. That's not how I like my movie going experience.
Yeah, me neither. I like a little bit more thought and love behind a movie when it's shipped out.
Yes, especially movies that I grew up with, you know, like Nightmare on Elm Street. All right, well, let us know what you think in the comments below. Do you want to see Robert Englund come back? Because he's the OG and he's the only one that can play it to you, and I completely understand that. Or are you like me who love Robert Englund, but hey, let the guy retire and let's bring in some new fresh blood, some new creativity. Let us know in the comments below. Thank you. Okay. So I used the Freddy thing as a segue to, I got to find it here, to our Stranger Things Volume 2 trailer talk, which Monte and I just watched. Now, Monte, you haven't watched any of season 4 at all, have you?
I have not.
Okay. Let me just tell you this much, okay? Season 4 Stranger Things, it's one of the best seasons that they've done. And well, I feel like they've always went into that trajectory. The next season's always been better than the previous season. And this season's, it's being done very well. And it's being done paying homage to all the previous horror franchises. You know, there is a Robert Englund cameo in this movie. You know, in the show, Robert Englund being a guy who is being plagued by his nightmares. Like they're tipping the hat. There's a lot of sequences in here that you recognize. Oh, I recognize that from Friday the 13th. They took that sequence from Friday the 13th. One of the new characters they introduce is totally 100%. Oh, I can't remember the guy's name. In the first Nightmare on Elm Street movie, the guy they thought killed girl. Yeah. Up yours with the twirling lawnmower. Yeah, that one. Yes, that character is obviously a tip of the hat to that character. So and the way the main antagonist looks. They try to do that burn victim looking thing again, but they Stranger Things it up. It's really well done, man. And the season leading up to now is just, I binged it all in one day. Which I never do. I never have time to binge shows, and I binged every single episode in one day. I think I did that with this one. Yeah, because I wasn't feeling that well that day. So yeah, I was home all day. I binged that, and then I turned around and I rewatched Loki. So those are my 2 binging series. We got a comment here. As soon as I can get over there. I sent his Freddy demo reel to you on Facebook. Did it all on his own. Check it out now or after. Okay. All right. Thanks, man. I'll check it out after. I don't know his copyright stuff on that, or if he has any. Well, I'll take a look at it. But we watched the Stranger Things season 4, volume 2, which is very wordy. As somebody who hasn't watched any of the season, Monte, did this intrigue you at all? Are you interested in season 4?
I absolutely loved the first season of Stranger Things. I'm kind of a contrarist, I guess. Like usually whenever anybody's telling me to follow something or you got to watch something, I don't want to. I just like immediately like, nah, I don't want to.
Yeah.
And, it's one of the few times where, yeah, I could get it. The show is pretty well written. That first season was pretty awesome. A lot of nostalgia boners in there, a lot of good stuff. Good acting from all the kids. And I do not really believe that every season has gotten better. I actually go the opposite way. I think every season's a little bit worse.
Really?
And here's the reason why. I think that they're all good. Let me just put it that way. The first one was really, really fucking good. But I think that it's too much of a good thing, if that makes sense. It's like I'm getting a little bit of a fucking toothache from this. It's like, how many times is the Upside Down going to keep coming back into the fucking fold? You know what I mean?
Well,
and I get, the story has to continue to progress, but there's also, they kind of take away the stakes all the time too, when none of the characters that we actually care about ever die. It's only side characters that we don't really give a shit about to begin with.
Right. Yeah, they do play into that quite well. Hopper died.
That's my only
3. Yeah,
and then
back.
11 was supposed to be dead, and then she's fucking back, which of course we needed that. But
well, I think one thing that season 4 has done very well, and I know you said you got to push the story forward. They're pushing the story forward by taking these characters backwards. That's what season 4 does. It dives more into what 11 was doing before we met her, and it dives really deep into that. And it actually, I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody. At least I'm going to try not to. If I accidentally do, then oops. But it dives into what her connection is with the Upside Down. Why did her and the Upside Down show up at the same time? And you find these connections, that
the show is very good.
It's always been there, but yeah,
show. It's just, I feel like, they caught lightning in a bottle with the first one. And I always kind of wish that whenever there's something good that people would just kind of let it be. You know what I mean? And I get it. They're all companies. They're all going to try to make money. I get it. But
maybe they had a story to tell. Like they're like, well, no, this is our plan. We have this story that starts here and ends here. Because I believe when they first came out, they said, hey, we're only planning for this to be like a 4 or 5 season thing. Like they said that from the forefront. So they may have already had this planned out.
Well, yeah, that's kind of one of the good things I'm talking about, is that they always know where they're going by the end of the show. You never really have, you never really have like these weird filler episodes where, nothing really happens, which is something that you can't really say about a lot of shows that are on TV or Netflix in general. It's like, Stranger Things is one of those things where if you take away one of the episodes, then you're not lost for the next one, but you're definitely missing parts.
Yeah.
And that's important. And that's, honestly, I think that's signs of good writing. I will watch season 4, but
just when everyone stops telling you to do so.
pretty much once it's all out and ready to go, so I could just watch it all in one sitting.
Right. See, okay, that's how I used to think, Monte. Like before, like
I don't mind waiting, but now I'm kind of stuck what I am now with Kenobi, where I'm just like,
oh,
well, that was shit. Hopefully next week they'll fix it.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah. But again, I digress. I do like the show, and the trailer does do a good job making me excited. And honestly, the way that you've talked about it makes me excited to watch season 4. So
you can add it to your your list there with what was it, Miss Marvel?
yeah.
Listen, I like season 4 and so far, and the fact that these two episodes that are left are 2 hours each, so you're getting 2 full length movies. Still can't figure out why Netflix is running out of money.
That's pretty fucking insane. Like that's production value right there.
How awesome would it have been if they did the series like this, but then these last 2 episodes they put out in theaters for like a short run? That would have been really cool.
Would have been cool as hell.
They would have made good money off that, I bet.
Yeah, shit.
Wow, I never thought about that. Like leave the last 2 episodes and put those out in theaters, but leave them on a big cliffhanger. People will run to the theaters to see that stuff.
Oh, fuck yeah, they would.
You hear me, Netflix? You got it?
It's a good idea, Netflix. Run with it.
But when it came to watching this last trailer, it doesn't really tell me more than what I already know. Like, and I can see, like, maybe if you haven't watched season 4, you can watch it and be like, looks more the same. And it does. But the way these characters get to where they go, like how the people end up in the Upside Down, people you don't expect to be there, the accessibility to get to the Upside Down that you never heard of before, like these neat little things that you learn that's been happening in the background in the previous seasons, but now you're like, oh wait, so they could have done this before. Oh shit, like it's a nice little way to tell the story. But I want you to watch whenever you get a chance, watch it and come back on here and let us know what you think about it. Okay?
Absolutely, yeah.
Can you do that for me?
I am 1,000% willing to give it a hell of a lot more of a chance. I'll be honest. I was going to go into it with like the lowest expectations so that it would at least match or do better. But now it's like in the middle, and I'm hoping for it.
Great. So if it sucks, then I ruined it for you. Sorry, man.
Well, I mean, if it sucks, it sucks. There's nothing you can do about it. But
all right. Well,
what if just the last episode it turns into like it's a crossover? Now it's Squid Game.
Oh God!
It's like I hope you kids learn Korean.
Okay, well, I'm just
fuck.
I'm just gonna leave it on there. That's enough. Stranger Things season 4, volume 2 trailer. That's a long fucking title. I meant to talk about this earlier because Stranger Things was supposed to be the last thing we talked about, but for some reason I skipped over. It was supposed to go after the Star Wars stuff, but the Obi-Wan Kenobi episode 6 predictions, expectations. Monte, I want to hear from you because I know you fucking hate this show.
I do.
Is there any redemption? Is there anything that they can do in episode 6 to redeem this show for you?
I will say a couple good things. One, it is awesome to see Hayden Christensen acting as these characters again. Mm-hmm. I fucking love that guy, and I don't think he deserved the hate that he got at all. That all being said, Darth Vader is carrying the fucking show because Ewan McGregor is a great actor, but he can only do so much with what he's given.
Yeah.
And he's being given shit right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that says a lot because, look back on like any of the other Star Wars movies in the prequel trilogy outside of Revenge of the Sith. The dialogue is hilarious. It's almost all of it could be a meme. And then you look at this show and we were promised, a character study on this character that we all really love, especially Star Wars fans love Ewan McGregor. We love Obi-Wan Kenobi. We love what he's done with it. And instead, we've gotten like a cutesy little 20, 30 minute spin show of a shit ton of other no-name characters that we could give a fuck about.
And Leia
Being a little shit that can somehow parkour everywhere and just never get fucking caught by any of these grown fucking adult. I know it's shitty to say, all right, but I just want somebody to shoot the little bitch because she keeps getting away. It's so hard. There was a whole Order 66 where a shit ton of kids died. You're telling me you can't throw some fucking lassos around this little shit?
Well, she does have
stun. Fuck
she does have force powers. You know, the force is with her.
Yeah, so they fucking say now.
Before she Mary Poppins, you know.
Yeah, before she just fucking Mary Poppins her way into the ship. God damn it, I hate you, Ryan Johnson, so much. Honestly, if there
is any hope?
Fuck, I don't know, man. The last episode 5, was decent. And that sucks. That is probably the best episode that they've had so far. That's how shitty the rest of them have been.
Yeah.
And
well, I don't think they've all been shit. There's been, you got to remember, there's only been 5. So, like, you know, if
that's what I mean.
Shitty, that's bad odds.
If you only have 5 episodes and you are like, fuck, I mean, 20% of them are good. Like 2 episodes are good out of the 5. That sucks. That's so bad for a show. If you have 6 episodes and you only get 30 minutes each, they got to be fucking good. And that's what I mean, is that they haven't been. Some of them have just been outright just kind of stupid.
Yeah, this show could have been wonderful. And you and I talked about this last week. You know, we don't need to retread everything that we said last week, but like,
yeah, and it's not even about expectations, you know, subverting expectations, fucking Ryan Johnson. No, it's just telling a good story, a memorable story. This has so many weird holes in it that just don't make any damn sense. Like, this whole time, Luke's just fucking abandoned on Tatooine. Nobody gives a shit about him right now, which is kind of shitty right now. I just want to point that out, that like at any moment right now, like, you know, there'll be a burnt carcass out in front of his fucking of his house. It's like, now this is pod racing, and that's what we're gonna come back season 6 to find, or episode 6.
Well, they did tease about Luke Skywalker showing up in this last episode.
I mean, honestly, the one thing a lot of fans have been waiting for is just a rematch between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. Right?
You got that.
Kinda, if you want to call
got
it
his ass
that.
kicked.
That first, so this whole time we're having him, you know, he has his lightsaber and he hasn't lit it yet. He's like refusing to light it. He feels ashamed about it almost. And they're putting all this around there, and then just out of nowhere, when he's like running away from Darth Vader, which is the weirdest time to do it, he lights his lightsaber up and just gives away his position to everybody. But it's like not a big deal at all.
Yeah.
And it's, let me put it this way, all right? When fucking Rey lit her lightsaber, it had more feeling behind it than when Obi-Wan Kenobi reluctantly uses his lightsaber again. And that's kind of what and also, you know, they show him blasting fucking people like it's going out of style, which is weird.
Well,
he did it once in Revenge of the Sith. He did it fucking once. He doesn't use blasters. He just doesn't. And that's what I mean, is that they, you know, Disney just hates their characters.
Jimbo says, I try not to hate on it too much, since that's what made the kid who played young Anakin lose his mind. But I agree with Monte on everything. Well, to be fair, Jimbo, Monte's not hating on any of the actors. He's hating on the creative decisions, which is a little bit more freedom. You're not attacking a person.
No, I think the actors are all doing a pretty decent job.
Yeah,
especially being whatever they're given right now. I think that the writing is just not good.
Well, what do you think is going to happen in episode 6? What? Let me see if I can.
I'm hoping for some kind of a showdown, and then, you know, Darth Vader thinks that Obi-Wan's dead.
Do you think?
It has to be like that, because if he thinks he's still alive, he's never going to stop hunting him.
Right.
So
Do you think he's going to find out Anakin or God damn it, Luke Skywalker is his?
No, he can't.
Well,
I mean, because if he does, then again, he would never stop. We don't even see that he knows that until
maybe. I see that this is not an original thought. This is a theory I heard earlier today, and it was somebody saying that would it be an interesting character arc of Darth Vader to find out that Luke Skywalker is alive?
Yeah, it's called The Empire Strikes Back.
Wait, and decides to hide that from the Emperor, and it's his secret. He that little bit of Anakin that's still in him.
That kind of was in The Empire Strikes Back, though, where he's like, "Join me, and we can destroy the Emperor and rule the galaxy as father and son." He says that to him.
Right. I get that. The theory that I heard, I thought it was a little intriguing. And again, it's a matter of if they do it right, if they pull it off correctly. But to have Anakin, God, I keep calling Luke Anakin. The fact,
Anakin.
But yeah. to have Darth Vader find out that Luke is alive, completely take canon and just throw it in the trash. And
fuck it.
But if you do that, and you're creative enough to make it actually somehow narratively fit into the story of the future Star Wars films, you do see some humanity in Darth Vader for a second. He's like, no, I'll deal with him when he's a man, or something like that, or and the one other person that knows about him, he kills them.
That would be cool.
Then you find out that he's carried this secret for years, and he's been waiting for Luke to show back up.
I kind of like that, but I'll be honest. I like Vader being the bad guy that he's supposed to be. I like people fucking being terrified of him when he comes to a village.
That's why we need a Vader solo movie, where he's just kicking ass and taking names. That's why we need that.
There was a really great comic that was written, before the dark times, before Disney owned them, and it's literally about that, where Vader is basically sent on a suicide mission by Palpatine because Palpatine thinks that he's growing too weak. So he sends Vader on basically the suicide mission, and Vader's surrounded by a group of rebels, and he fucking kills them all, and he sends bounty hunters against them. Him and Boba Fett get into a fucking fight that almost kills both of them. It's good shit. It's a good little story. And again, I'm not saying, make that into a movie. I'm just saying you have
be inspired.
Yeah, you have these great source materials that they just don't want to use. And even then, let's just get rid of that whole thing for a second, right? The A New Hope trilogy and all that stuff. There is Star Wars: The Old Republic, right? There is an amazing group of CG videos and little trailers made on YouTube right now for free that anyone could watch. And it's literally Star Wars: The Old Republic movies. And they're all made by just a couple video game companies. And those guys understand how to tell a story with little to no dialogue somehow better than a massive multi-billion-dollar company with a shit ton of budget in 30 minutes. And that's what bothers me.
And 10 years to write this story.
Yes.
This Obi-Wan story.
That's what I mean. I could go watch one of these videos right now. It's like a 6-minute video, and you'll get everything that you need from it. You'll get a young girl experimenting with the Force, and her mother is trying to keep her away from that because otherwise the Empire is going to take her and use her for evil. And eventually she does what kids do, and they say no to their parents, and they keep doing the shit. She gets taken. All this is done without dialogue, and it's beautiful.
Well, you see, Monte, you just brought up a great something they could have added to this show. They could have, because the big thing about Leia is okay, why does she never use her Force powers until until
He's
the
fucking
Last
30.
Jedi. Until the Last Jedi, you know, like
Yeah.
that we know of anyway. You just brought up a great point. That's something they could have added to this story with Obi-Wan, and since you're gonna have Princess Leia, doing buddy cop film
show
with
some fucking repression in there. Show her being fucking.
Show her like, my mom says I shouldn't use this, and like have Obi-Wan go like, no, you've got to keep that a secret, like, and like, and throw that in there, like, oh, that's why we never saw it. Okay,
already that's better writing and a better story than just the little shit who just happens to be right and perfect and correct all the time. That's what I hate. Is none of these characters are fucking flawed. They're always saints and they're always perfect.
Jimbo says, dead youngling boy Force Ghost. Why couldn't he wait to kill me until I was a man?
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe Anakin just got too much kid killing in him. Come on, younglings, line up in order of cuteness, please.
He sees, then he sees
Skywalker.
Then he sees Luke, and he's like, I think I've killed enough kids. I'm gonna let this one stay.
Ooh, he's on a lot of sand right now. I don't want to go there.
I don't like sand.
That's
cool.
my
and
that's
it
my
gets
last
everywhere.
Point. That's my last fucking point for Star Wars movies. If they show us another goddamn desert planet, dude, I'm just gonna go eat fucking sand. Like they never stop. How many fucking deserts, how many just desolate, destroyed planets are there in the fucking universe? No wonder they're all at war with each other. They're fucking miserable.
Well, that's the one thing about Star Wars. It's always been a problem, and it's what George Lucas set up, and I know they're all trying to do that in the same light. But can we just have a planet that also has seasons? It's not just one of our seasons is the whole planet. Like it's okay for planets to have different.
Just imagine the wildlife, how fucking boring it must be there.
Right.
What's the temperature outside? It's 150 because it's fucking Tatooine and we have 2 suns. There are 2 suns and no women.
What do you think about Qui-Gon Jinn coming back as a ghost?
Why not?
Do you think that's a possibility for this episode?
I hope he
do you think
comes
they got
back
Liam Neeson back?
And he's like partying and he doesn't even know. He's like with the other Force ghosts and he's like, man, I'm so happy I got Order 66 to happen. I was so lonely. Oh, Obi-Wan. Didn't see you there.
Boy, you really dropped the ball there, huh? Where the hell is everybody? No more Jedis? They're chasing them?
You wouldn't believe the plot that led up to this.
Oh man!
I hope it's
all
like
right,
Kung Pao.
All right. Well, dude, I'll be honest with you. I'm ready for this show to be done. Like once it's over, I'll be like, okay, I don't have to feel like I need to watch it because it became a genuine curiosity and went to a morbid curiosity of like, what the fuck are they gonna do?
Yeah, it's like, what else can they do?
Oh no, okay, Darth Vader can stop that ship with the Force, but he can't stop the ship right behind it. Oh, got it. And nobody can chase them into outer space, apparently.
Yeah, that bothered the shit out of me too. It was like, you're in fucking space. Like you have a Star Destroyer up there. Shoot them. Fuck that.
Yeah, and
it's like that. All right. So I call it the Ewok mentality, right? When these little fucking teddy bears show up in Vietnam, all the fucking the Empire in the middle of the damn the redwoods. All right, it's like this cutesy little shit that just happens to let the good guys win. No, fuck that. Let's show them killing prisoners. Let's see some fucking war crimes. This is a war. I am tired of this shit. That's why I liked Rogue One so much. It blurred the lines and like showed that the rebels can kind of be, actually fucking rebels and doing some shady shit.
Jimbo says, I watched Kenobi and then I have The Boys season 4 as a nice palate cleanser 2 days later.
Yeah,
so, yeah, The Boys.
It's bad when you need a chaser for your show.
Dude, The Boys is. Oh man, have you been watching that at all, Monte?
No, I have to watch the new season.
Oh,
I'm super
God.
excited to. Sorry, me and my fiance, we've been watching Mrs. Maisel.
I think it was episode 1. Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you what it was. Episode 1. Within the first 10 minutes, you'll have all array of emotions, man. Shock. I warned Seth not to watch that with his mom, that first episode.
Oh shit.
It's something my God. Anyway,
Good to know.
yeah, the Boys is kicking ass, dude. That's what I should be talking about is the Boys. You know, there's another show I just discovered on Amazon that I really enjoy. I binged the first like few episodes, and now I think it comes out every Friday. It's The Man Who Fell to Earth.
Oh, I've heard about that one.
Yeah, there's a movie from the 70s that it's based on, but it's just interesting. It's a nice change of pace from all the, you know, Marvel,
Invincible
Star
is another
crap.
great show on Amazon too.
Oh, Invincible?
Yeah, Invincible was surprisingly very good.
I haven't heard anything about it.
Oh, dude, it's good fucking storytelling, and it's goddamn brutal.
Like, what's the premise?
It's an animated show. Really great voice cast. The premise is, think, you know, the Kryptonians, like, think like that. Those kind of people. They're basically gods.
Yeah.
One of them is here on Earth. His name is Omni-Man, and he's just the shit. He's great, and he seems pious and pure and all these other good things. They have their version of the Justice League or whatever the hell they're called, like the Defenders of the Globe or something like that. And I'm not gonna spoil it, but shit gets pretty real really quick, and things start to get progressively. It's never like super dark and brooding, but it's always like, you know, how would this world really be if there were superheroes like this and they're not all pure? Think like The Boys, but not quite
As satire.
Yeah, not quite as satire. A much more grounded story.
Isn't that what Zack Snyder tried to do?
Yeah. It's a good one, man. And his son is he has just started getting his powers to form. It's something that happens right around when they reach maturity. It's not something that they're like, you know, they just have their whole life.
Right. Not like in The Incredibles 2 when the baby's just shooting lasers out of its eyes every time
like
it
just
farts or
can't
something.
figure out which power to have.
Right. Okay. Well, there you have it. I'm gonna close it there, Monte. So there's some good shows on Amazon. That's good. The Boys is kicking ass. The man who fell to Earth, and what was
Star Wars: The Old Republic CGI trailers. Everybody watch them. They're fucking amazing.
And then if you stay up late enough tonight, you can watch Obi-Wan episode 6 that we're all excited about.
We're all so excited.
Dude, I really hope that it does something. Like,
yeah.
Listen, and this is the last thing I'll bring up about the Star Wars episode 6 or the Obi-Wan episode 6. It's been lackluster. I'm not excited about the show, and I should have been. I should have been excited about the show. I just hope they at least go out with a bang. At least they're like, all right, well, it was a show, but you know what? At least they ended on this really big, solid note, you know, and hopefully it's not the brown note. So, all right. Well, anybody, if you have any thoughts, comments, whatever, let us know in the comments below. Yeah. Anything else you want to add in there, Monty, before we take off?
Ryan Johnson sucks.
Did you see the hashtag I made for you?
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah, I had it scrolling for a little
Ryan
bit.
Johnson. Yeah,
that's for Monty. I actually don't mind The Last Jedi.
That is from me, yes, personally.
I let it scroll for a while, and I figured you didn't see it, so I took it down.
No, I was in fucking hate mode.
Oh man, see, that's why I really enjoy talking Star Wars with you, because like I'm so like middle of the road about it. I'm like, well, you know, whatever.
I fucking
canon
love Star Wars,
schmanin,
right?
and you're like, no, fuck that.
No, fuck that. Standing on the chair, fucking knife handing down, yelling into the screen. Yep, that is me.
All right. Well, everybody, we will be back for Drive-By News this Thursday at 8 p.m. to maybe talk. Well, we'll definitely be talking about what we thought of Obi-Wan and the season finale.
Maybe I'll watch Stranger Things by then.
Yeah, maybe you can binge Stranger Things and watch that first episode of the Boys. Yes. Oh my God, have you watched any of the other Boys?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I love that show.
Good. Watch that first one. Just watch it. I almost want you to like record yourself just for the first 10 minutes so I can see your actual reaction.
Beautiful. I'm actually,
anyway.
yeah, you know what? I will try to do that actually.
All right, cool. All right, so we'll be back Thursday for that. I got some other things I'm going to be doing on the channel here soon. I'll be obviously bringing back the reviews and all that stuff. Then it never really went away. I just kind of took a little vacation for a little bit, and I think we're going to be doing some live watch parties. I really want to do Pirates of the Caribbean. I've sat on that franchise for a while. Like I've been wanting to do it, and I figure right now is a good time to bring up some good old pirates. So if you guys have any suggestions of what you want to see us do here, let us know in the comments below. Also be sure to subscribe to our channel, give us a little thumbs up thing, because if you don't share, if you don't subscribe, you don't do the thumbs up thing, then I can't get monetized and bring you out the content every single day. That's what I do. That's what I want to do. That's my goal. So
every time you don't do it, a dog dies somewhere.
Yeah.
Not exactly related, but it happens.
No, just know that. I just want that thought to be in your head every time you choose not to subscribe.
Every time you choose not to, you bastards.
These guys are playing hardball. All right, everybody, stay trigger happy, my friends. Peace.